Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be filming another video for my doll storage and organization video series. And today I'm going to be talking about how I store doll shoes. So you can probably tell next to me that I brought some samples up with me, but as usual I'm going to show you an example and then bring you down to my basement where I keep all of my doll stuff and show you how I store all of my shoes. So there are a lot of different ways that you can store shoes. What I do might not work for you. This is just my personal method and it really works for me. I have a really large collection and I have tons and tons and tons of shoes. I have hundreds of pairs of shoes for all different kinds of dolls. American Girl, Bratz, Barbie, you name it, I have shoes for it. So for me, it's not practical to store the shoes by like pairs. Some people buy little like tackle boxes and craft boxes and they store each pair of shoes in their own little compartment, but that would never work for me. So I had to think of a way that organized my shoes really well, but in a space convenient, minimal kind of way. So as you can see here, you've probably seen these if you watch my Dolly transformations videos, but I have this little set of drawers and this is kind of like the general idea for how I store shoes. If you've watched my other storage videos on accessories and clothes, you can probably get the idea. I really like drawers, and as I've said on those previous videos, I like the easy access of little drawers because you can just open them up and look for what you need. I got these little tiny white drawers at Walmart, I think for $5 or $6. They're not bad, and they have 5 little drawers. You can also get them in bigger sizes, which I do have a whole range of like different size drawers, which I will show you once we get downstairs. Basically, that's the general concept of how I store doll shoes. I just get little drawers that are sized to the doll type. So Bratz use a bigger size drawer, American Girl use a bigger size drawer. You get the idea. Then I just organize it by either doll type, and if there's a type of doll that has a lot of different shoes like Bratz or Barbie, I have those subdivided even more. So this is just one of my Barbie shoe organizers. I have 2 for just the tiny shoes. So I have a bunch of labels and it took me a long time to figure out the best way. I kind of made like piles of the different style shoes and then what ones made sense together I combined. So like I have backless shoes here. And then I have ones that have a back or an ankle strap, so they're mules, so they have like the little peep toe. And then I have T-straps and ankle straps, so these are basically closed-toed shoes that have straps. Then I have things like Mary Jane's, slingbacks, and specialty pumps. And then in this one I have a whole drawer of just your classic like 90s pump. And this works really well. Back in the day when I was like playing with dolls, I would have like a big metal tin, like the kind that you get popcorn in or cookies, and I would just have all of my doll shoes thrown in there, like for, you know, Barbie, and then I'd have like a separate container for like Skipper or Stacy. The problem I had with that was that the larger shoes would swallow the tiny shoes. So if you ever have like put big boots in with like tiny Barbie pumps, the pumps will get stuck inside and it's a real pain to get out, and sometimes if like the shoe is really delicate you could break it. So that's why I sort by size and type. I also don't see a point in like organizing shoes by all that they want to, just because shoes are recycled time and time again, and there are a lot of dolls who have the same shoes. Like I can't tell you how many Barbies back in the 90s came with plain red pumps. So that's why I store them this way. And then I have this little thing of drawers, which I don't actually like a whole lot. This was my first time experimenting with shoe organization. My dad bought this for me at a hardware store. I don't remember how much it was, but it doesn't have a back, which I didn't like. It's made for little like tools, like little screws and things. So I actually taped some cardboard back here just to make it feel more secure, because there's like a big gap. Like these don't have backs either, but it all fits nicely, but this did not. So this is what I originally stored my Barbie shoes in, but they quickly like outsourced the space. So this is for like Skipper, Stacy, Kelly, and then Disney. So these tiny drawers pop right out. That's the great thing too with using drawers, you can pop them out. These hold Kelly shoes really well. And then I have like Skipper shoes all organized by type, and she has bigger drawers because her shoes are bigger. So For lost shoes, a lot of people don't keep their shoes that are missing pairs. They like throw them away, they give them away. I say hold on to them because, believe it or not, you will actually mate a lot of shoes together. So this is just one of my missing shoe things. I have three more things. So this is where I keep my Barbie shoes, and I've shown this on a video before, a Dolly transformation video. This is an old like 90s organizer. I had one growing up just like it, and I just have the drawers labeled, and for labels I always just use pieces of paper with tape because actual labels stick really good and they're hard to get off, so these are easy to peel if I need to move them around. And then I have like larger shoes over here. I used to just kind of throw everything in, but it didn't really work out. I couldn't actually find if I had like a matching shoe when I used it that way. Growing up, I would always save my missing shoes. I would keep them in like a little baggie. And I had a Jasmine doll, a Classics Jasmine doll, and I lost one of her little harem shoes, her little white harem slippers. When I first got back into doll collecting, like literally 15 years later, I ended up finding a match to that. So it might take years, it might take decades, but you will be surprised. Sometimes you will mate the most random shoes together. And that was really great because I love having my Jasmine dolls wear special shoes. And that was just a really awesome streak of luck. So I say hold on to them. You'll be surprised how many you mate together. So that's kind of just the general lowdown on how I store them, basically in drawers. I'm going to take you downstairs and show you all of them together. So we're in my basement once again, and this is my old bedroom, in case you were wondering. That's why it's finished looking. So this is where I keep most of my doll shoes, on top of my old secondhand dresser that I had growing up. So these are all of the little drawers that I was talking about, and I'll give you guys a closer look. You can see my Bratz shoes I keep in 2 larger units because I have so many. Matching drawers to all of these, which were featured in my accessory storage video. So I store Bratz shoes in the same way with labels, but I actually pair these together because I used to throw them all in a container, and if you know anything about Bratz shoes, then you know that they are very detailed. They have a lot of paint, and that paint can get sticky or chip, and they get dirty really fast, so I figured it was just easier because that way I could really see what I had, especially since Bratz don't have feet, so these are their feet. And you can see sometimes the things slide back a little bit, but it's easy to fix. And then there's another one. And then these are my Bratz boy shoes. And I needed to get taller drawers for the tall boots because I used to lay them down in the drawers, but I wasn't using my space wisely that way. And some of the boots could technically fit, but when I opened the drawers, they would get messed up. So I use these. These are 2 modular drawers, so they're smaller versions of these ones I use for my clothes. And you can see I have them all stacked up here. And yes, I did give myself plenty of growing room. I always do when I like store things. So yeah, and I have tons of duplicated pairs. And then this is the thing I showed you here. And then I have 4 of these little units. So these 2 are for Barbie. And then these are for like all of the Bratz affiliates. So like, you know, my Bratz baby shoes, kids, Bratz, little Bratz, Bratzillas. These are Moxie Girls, Mary Kate and Ashley, High School Musical, Liv. These are random, like, assorted little dolls, so like Kid Core Jody and Strawberry Shortcake, Ever After High. So then for the dolls that have larger shoes, like Ken or Barbie boots and Monster High, I gave them bigger drawers. So this is all my Ken shoes. These are all of my Barbie boots. You can see this drawer is really full. These are all of my, like, random Barbie shoes, so like flippers, skis, roller skates, my scene shoes. Then we have Monster High. That's a lot. That's because I don't let my dolls wear their shoes in storage much anymore if they have painted details, because sometimes the paint on Monster High shoes will rub off onto like the dolls. Then we have my sister's Kid Core Katie shoes. And then these are all of the larger shoes that don't have pairs. This little cubby unit, which you guys saw in my accessory video, I just keep my two matching 90s units of missing Barbie shoes, and then I don't know if you're going to be able to see. This is an old coffee can where I keep all of my Bratz shoes. It's been cleaned out. So you're probably wondering again, like, where are your American Girl shoes? I keep them in drawers, but I keep them in dresser drawers, and I'll show you them in a minute. And that's just because they are so large that I figured I might as well just maximize my dresser space by using it for my American Girls. I don't really feel comfortable storing like fashion doll stuff in drawers because it's easy. Andy. It's easy for stuff to like fall behind the drawers and get lost, but American Girl stuff is of a larger size, so I don't have that problem. So I'll show you where I keep my American Girl shoes. So we're back in my sister's old bedroom in the basement, which you guys have seen in other videos. And this little tall unit here, which I think is supposed to be some kind of like jewelry box thing, is where we keep all of our American Girl shoes, and also in some of the drawers in the adjacent bureau over here, which used to be my bedroom set when I was a kid. So this set of drawers was my grandmother's. If you've watched any of my videos that I filmed in my sister's bedroom, you'll see the matching pieces to this set. She didn't need this, so we just kept it in the basement, and I used to keep my American Girl clothes in here, but I ended up getting too many, so now I just use them for shoes, and I have them organized by character. So these are all like Julie and Ivy's. These are all my Girl of the Year shoes. These are Felicity, Elizabeth, and Addie's shoes. These are Josephina and Kirsten's shoes. These are Samantha and Nellie's shoes. And then these are Kit and Caroline's shoes. So I grew up to the characters that they didn't make a lot of shoes for, like say retired characters like Kirsten and Caroline who didn't have a lot of shoes, or some people that just don't have as many with dolls that had more. And some dolls like Julie, Ivy, Samantha, and Nellie need their own. I keep all my Bitty Baby shoes, and I also stick dryer sheets in the drawers to keep them smelling nice because this is my basement. I left a lot of growing room for Bitty Babies because they make a lot for her. And these are all of my Girl of Today, Truly Me type shoes. These are all Molly and Emily shoes. They needed their own drawer because my sister has an ungodly number of shoes for them. And in terms of cloth shoes, like things like bed slippers that are completely cloth, we baggy those with the American Girl outfits. If you watched my clothing storage video, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Just because like little cloth slippers, like ballet slippers, like for my Isabel doll or Marisol, they can get lost easily. And you also notice Kia doesn't have any drawers, and that's because she has all of those like cloth boots and nothing with soles. So I just baggy all of her shoes with her outfits. So if I need them, I can just go in her outfits. It keeps them smelling better, and they won't get lost and whatnot. So that's what I do for American Girl. So thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope my tips could help you out. I know these won't work for everyone, but maybe it'll give you some ideas that you can tweak to adjust to your collection and your collection size. I do have some pictures on my Flickr account that are a bit out of date for how I store things, so just check out my tips and tutorials album on there if you want to see pictures. But like I said, they're kind of out of date. I need to update them. I just haven't had the time. So until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.